In this activity, we're going to learn how to solve linear systems using the substitution method. And we're going to take a real life example and see how we can use substitution to determine the solution to a linear system. And so a muffin business has a startup cost of $200. The cost of making one muffin is 50 cents. So that means the equation for calculating the total cost of making muffins is going to be cost is equal to 0.50n, and n is the number of muffins, so this is 50 cents per muffin, so 50 cents times the number of muffin plus the $200 startup cost. So this is how you can calculate the cost of making n muffins. So if you made 10 muffins, it would be 50 cents times 10, which is $5 plus $200, so it would cost you $205 to make 10 muffins. Now, a muffin sells for $1.50. Therefore, the total revenue in dollars that you earn on sales of muffins, of n muffins, is C is equal to 1.50 times n. So if you sold 10 muffins, then you would have a total revenue of $15, which means that you would have lost money if it cost you $205 to make the muffins. So what we want to do is determine the number of muffins for the business needs to sell in order to break even. And what we mean by break even is that the revenue is exactly the same as the cost of making the muffins. So we want to sell a number of muffins that is equal to the cost it took to produce that number of muffins. In other words, we're not going to make any money and we're not going to lose any money at the break-even point. So that means that the total amount of money made by selling muffins is equal to the total amount of money it costs to produce the muffins, and so that's our break-even point. So what we're going to do now is bring our equations down here. So 1.5n is equal to 0.5n plus 200. So now we've got the two equations set equal. So we want to know how many muffins do we sell in order to break even. And so now we've got an equation here, and we can solve this equation. So when we do this, we're going to first of all subtract 0.5n from both sides. And when we do that, we get n is equal to 200. So that means that if you sell 200 muffins, the business breaks even. So now the question is, what is the break-even amount? In other words, calculate the cost of making 200 muffins and calculate the cost of the earnings of selling, or the revenue of selling 200 muffins.